become so incompetent, we'll be praising them and say that, oh, terrorism is happening. Jonathan is doing nothing. Well done, Jonathan. Are we supposed to do that? We are in opposition. Our job is to look at even good things that they are doing and say they are not doing it well. That is the job of opposition. So we have no apologies for pointing out to Nigerians that this government is incompetent and has failed to provide security. If you say we are politicizing it, fix the problem so that we can't politicize it. Okay? Are we politicizing breathing of air? Every Nigerian can breathe air. We can't politicize it because there is no problem there. But if you fail to supply petroleum products and we say you are failing, you say we are politicizing it. Fix the problem so that we don't politicize it. If you say that there is terrorism, we are politicizing it, eliminate terrorism. 5 years ago, nobody is talking about terrorism in Nigeria. Under Jonathan, it has become an industry. And we should not take advantage of their failings so that we secure the votes of Nigerians in the next elections. There must be something wrong with them. We have made suggestions to the government on how to improve security. They have ignored it. They have set up 5 different committees that have given them recommendations how to address this problem of terrorism in the last 3 years. They have not implemented one. They are incompetent. But they try to blame other people.
So at this stage that you are right now.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to the African Wahala. I really hope I don't have any audio issues. If I do, please let me know in the comment section so I can fix that quickly. And also, feel free to be a part of this conversation by clicking on the comment section, drop a comment. I will share it on the screen. We can conversate. And at some point, you might be able to call into the show through the WhatsApp number scrolling at the bottom, or I can even drop a link in the comment section that you can click on and call into the show. So I just shared a video of El-Rufai, the governor of Kaduna State. He was talking in 2014 about how incompetent the Jonathan's administration was in fighting against terrorism and how he's an opposition member and it is his job to be an opposition regardless the efforts of the administration. So even if the administration is doing good, as an opposition, it is their job to lie that the good is bad. But right now, nobody needs to tell us if it's a lie or if it's the truth that Buhari's administration, a part of the APC, which El-Rufai is a part of, that they are failing woefully, that these guys have completely ruined the security architecture of the country. They have demoralized the citizens and the military. Now we have a country that is on a downward trajectory, period. And if you listen to that video, it almost sounds like it came out this year, in 2022, because all the points he was coming out with about the spread of terrorism, about the inability of the administration to curb the spread of terrorism, these are the things happening now. But he was making it sound like it was that bad in 2014. And don't even get it twisted for 1 second. I'm not trying to say that Jonathan's era was the greatest, because it wasn't. Goodluck Jonathan's era, if you guys remember, that guy was called the most clueless, the most useless buffoon of a president in Nigeria's history. Jonathan had no business being in that position. And that was why Nigerians emotionally voted for Buhari in 2015, because of Jonathan's incompetencies. The only good thing about Jonathan is that he is not a stone cold killer like Buhari. Jonathan is the kind of guy that he has some human feelings. He's a thief, don't get it wrong. He stole a lot of money along with his wife and many other people in his cabinet. Diezani and Madikwe, that was one typical example. They stole so much money. They are not really humane, but at least in terms of watching people die and having the ability to do something about it, to prevent it from happening, Goodluck Jonathan did good in that aspect, because he said, I would rather step down from the position of presidency than to sacrifice people's lives, because people are going to fight if I choose to step down, and I don't want them to fight and kill themselves. So that's why people give Jonathan some credit. But other than that, in a reasonable country, a guy like Jonathan should have been investigated and thrown in prison as well. Okay. Now, let's go back to the topic of this conversation. It has to do with Obasanjo. Now, there are three things we're going to talk about. Obasanjo coming out and telling us, the people, not to vote for Atiku, do not vote for Tambuwal, do not vote for Peter Obi. That's what Obasanjo said in a recent colloquium. He was visiting someone celebrating his 61st birthday, and then they gave him the microphone to speak on the issues of the country, and he said, please don't vote for these guys. They are liars. I'll give you guys the summary of the conversation. Before that, I will share my screen so you can see where I'm getting that information from. Just a quick second here. Bingo. Yeah, so this is an article from the Daily Post. Obasanjo says, do not vote for Atiku. Do not vote for Saraki, Tambuwal, and others in 2023 because these guys, I'll give you the summary. These guys are lying about they obtaining their presidential tickets for the PDP as a result of the contribution of the general public. So Obasanjo says a form to compete for the position of presidency costs 40 million naira. And 40 million naira is not affordable for the youth. So they have made it that expensive intentionally so that youths are discouraged from competing. But also, these guys are lying that the forms were purchased for them by youths. And the fact that they are starting their presidential race from a lie, it means that people should not support them. I'll be honest with you. My own thought is this. I agree with Obasanjo. You shouldn't support these guys, okay? Because they are obviously liars. Atiku. I mean, I like Peter Obi. Peter Obi is a guy that he has had some positive character traits in the past. But the fact that this guy is trying to compete under PDP, then there is no way that I can like him. I'm sorry. He is going to be the same or worse than the Buhari's administration because that's just the way Nigeria is set up. Listen, if you represent Nigeria through the platform of PDP or APC, you are going to fail. It's a guarantee. People within your political party will sabotage you. Even if you have good intentions yourself, you will be sabotaged and it will be difficult for you to implement positive life-changing agendas while you become the president. So I know one thing for sure. Anybody that comes through and becomes the president of Nigeria, whether it's PDP or APC or even AAC, AC, or Moyele Shore's party, you will fail. It's just the truth. It's not an election that we need. We need more than an election right now. We need to have a national conversation to really understand what we are doing, okay? Because the truth is, we keep calling ourselves a nation. We are not a nation. We are a country that hasn't been able to grow into a nation. And for that reason, anything national is a fraud because it doesn't exist. We don't have a nation, okay? So the group of nationalities in Nigeria are supposed to try to come together and have a fundamental discussion about the future of what this entity is doing. Because right now, we don't have a nation. We have a semi-country. We don't have a nation. We have a semi-country where the elites are the citizens and the rest of the people are second-class citizens or slaves. The elder statesmen, they keep on coming around like Obasanjo and advising the people on what to do going forward to fix the country. But the crazy thing is that these so-called elder statesmen, they are also contributors to the mess that we find ourselves in today. Starting with Obasanjo. Obasanjo is an elder statesman, former president. Do you guys remember that after Obasanjo finished his second term in 2007, he was trying to manipulate the constitution so that he would be able to run for a third term? Do you guys remember? I know a lot of us have short memories, okay? Because there is so much suffering, there is so much pain that you easily forget about the past people that have cheated you. You let it go. You start focusing on the next person. And then when that past person that cheated you comes through and starts advising you, you try to pay attention to it. We need to stop listening to guys like Obasanjo, these so-called elder statesmen. Do you also know that Ibrahim Babangida IBB, he's an elder statesman in Nigeria? A guy that stole the only free and fair election in the history of Nigeria, the 1993 elections. IBB and Obasanjo, two notorious elder statesmen, they contributed to the destruction of Nigeria, point blank and period. And that doesn't mean that what Obasanjo is saying is not the truth, because even a broken clock, okay, can be correct twice a day. So just because Obasanjo is, Obasanjo is a broken clock, he can also be correct twice a day. And that's just a simple truth. So you think about the guys that Obasanjo is talking about. Atiku Abubakar. Atiku is trying to become the president. He was the vice president from 1999 to 2007. During that time, he became a multi-billionaire. Before that, he was a major boss in the customs institution, the Nigerian customs. He made himself billions. You know how it works in Nigeria. If you can find yourself in a top position in some of these government parastatals and institutions, you easily make money. Okay, the ways that you can make money in Nigeria is if you can get into politics. Oh my God, that is a very lucrative business path that you can take. If you can become a civil servant and you get promoted to the top positions, the executives, the directors, then you stand a chance at making a lot of money. Or you simply get into crime. That's how people make money, right? So Atiku Abubakar took advantage of two of those schemes. The first one, he became a top executive in the Nigerian customs, and he made a lot of money, obviously through unscrupulous means. And then he became the vice president, a top political elite, made a lot of money also during that period. And then after that happened, more Nigerians' lives have been destroyed because there is more inequity, more injustice, fewer people are taking all the riches. Atiku Abubakar ran away from the country. He went to Dubai, bought a couple of mansions over there, chilling, enjoying a decent country. He doesn't have to travel far away to see a doctor, because all these guys, they don't see doctors in Nigeria. They have to travel abroad because the good doctors in Nigeria, most of them, have either relocated or they are doing something else. Now they are just doing business. They have event centers. They're just trying to make money. Because if you remain in your chosen career path, it might be difficult for you in a system like Nigeria. So a lot of them run away or they are in other career paths. And also the fact that the Nigerian hospitals have nothing. So these political elites, they have to go to England, America, Canada, Asian countries, even some other African countries for medical treatments. Okay. So Atiku Abubakar, by the mere fact that he lives in Dubai, he has no problems with seeing a quality doctor because he lives in Dubai already. He has no problems with lack of electricity or polluted gasoline in petrol stations that can knock the engine of your generator. He has no issues with that because he lives in Dubai. And even if he lives in Nigeria, he's a billionaire because he has stolen the billions from the naira, from the Nigerians. So these guys are untouched by the suffering going on in Nigeria, but yet they come back and tell us that vote for me. Vote for me. I will save you from these problems that I put you in, or at least I was a contributor in putting you into. That's what Atiku says. So you have to agree with Obasanjo when he says, do not vote for Atiku Abubakar because Atiku is unscrupulous. He has started the presidential campaign with lies, claiming that the youth purchased his presidential ticket form for him, which is obviously a lie. He's a billionaire. He can afford it. He can even buy 10 presidential ticket forms. He doesn't care. People like Atiku, these are the money bags of the country. These are the people that we respect for being billionaires. But they are billionaires through unscrupulous means. That's the difference. So don't believe Atiku Abubakar. I'm begging you with God. I agree with Obasanjo. He's not one of the people you should listen to because he contributed to the destruction of Nigeria. I'm talking about Obasanjo, as well as many of these other fake elder statesmen They all contributed to the destruction of Nigeria. But the fact that they are not in jail today, in a normal society, they should have been probed, investigated, and probably thrown in prison for contributing to the destruction of Nigeria, for stealing so much money. Obasanjo, during his time as a president, I mentioned earlier, he tried to change the constitution so that he could run for the third term. Illegal, right? Also, during Obasanjo's term, do you guys remember that $16 billion went down the drain in the name of investing on constant 24-hour electricity supply? Was anybody investigated? Was Obasanjo investigated for that? Nope, he wasn't. And guess what? Obasanjo himself too is a billionaire. The guy has made a lot of money from the ruins of Nigeria. That's what all these guys are. And then today we refer to him as the elder statesman. He's coming to give us advice on who to choose next to continue pushing us into hellfire. Don't answer these guys, okay? Don't put any respect on their names. These so-called elder statesmen, they are nobody. They are liars. They are contributors to the mess that we find ourselves in today, and you should never pay them any attention. But for the purpose of today's conversation, he is telling the truth. Don't support Atiku Abubakar. Don't support Atiku, please. Don't support Tambuwal. Listen, let me show you what happened to Tambuwal recently. I found an article. Tambuwal is the governor of Sokoto State, right? He has been under some investigation with the EFCC. And the EFCC itself, I don't trust it, okay? I can't trust any institution that comes out of Nigeria simply because all these institutions are running on a fraudulent constitution, a constitution that is made to enslave the people. And for that reason, I'm not going to believe the EFCC, but I can give them some credit when they arrest, investigate, probe, prosecute some of these criminals, these notorious criminals. I'll give them some credit. But until that happens, well, I can't really trust them. Tambuwal, he is currently under the investigation of the EFCC for diverting public funds from Sokoto State into private bank accounts. And I'm going to look for that story and share it with you guys in 1 second. It has been going on in 6 years, 189 billion naira, according to the EFCC, okay, was diverted into private bank accounts by the Sokoto State government led by Tambuwal. Let me go through the article. You can see the header. Governor Tambuwal looted 189 billion naira, billion in 6 years. The theft came as bandits overtook critical northwestern state, displacing thousands of residents. And you know why this shit is so sad? The politicians and their friends, including the religious elites and the traditional elites, they are enriched by the ruins of Nigeria. These people make up 1% of the population. The remaining 99% of the population, maybe 15%, fall into middle class. The people that are just managing, they have some money, they are able to survive within a system of inequity, injustice, and lack of morals. While the rest of the population that makes up 70-something% are struggling, living in dire conditions. They are the victims of terrorism every single day. Now, people are getting killed by terrorists. Meanwhile, the political elite are becoming billionaires. A document from the EFCC and the CBN has exposed how the Sokoto State government, led by Aminu Waziri Tambuwal, stole, diverted 189 billion naira from the state-owned account to private individuals. The document signed by the DCEAS, Abubakar, has addressed the chairman of the commission, Abubakar Abdul Rashid Bawa, that is the chairman of the EFCC, revealed that unusual transactions were uncovered in the accounts from January 1st, 2015 to August 31st, 2021, within 7 years. According to the documents, the accounts received a total of 560 billion within the said period, out of which 189 billion was illegally diverted. So that is how these guys make money, okay? Tambuwal, you guys have seen that investigation currently going on. We haven't found an end result. And there are numbers here, okay? There are actual bank account numbers. There are petition numbers that you can use to verify the information, because some of you guys just think, oh, it's fake news. You guys are just trying to smear the name of our heroes. It's not fake news. I mean, if your heroes are the ones responsible for controlling the news that you receive, then it will be a conflict of interest on their part if they portray themselves negatively. And that's why these guys, when they commit crimes, they will sweep it under the carpet. Nobody is going to send them to prison. The judiciary is a joke. It only goes after poor people. Okay, it's never going to go after these elite criminals. And that's why these elite criminals have the balls to come out and tell us that, yes, I want to be your next president. Imagine Tambuwal coming out. Tambuwal. I've already talked about Atiku. Atiku, it's a joke. Atiku says, I want to be your president. But I mean, people will still take him seriously because Atiku's face has been there in the political space for the longest time. So a lot of people will take him seriously, no matter how much people like me try to campaign against him and campaign for him to go to prison, okay, for him to be investigated and, if found guilty, sent to prison for the crimes that he has committed, because these crimes are documented. As much as we are campaigning against him, there are millions of people that are doing the opposite. They are campaigning for him because they genuinely believe that he is their messiah. They are also victims of the weaponization of poverty. You see them collecting 5,000 naira, 2,000 naira when it's time for elections, or some of them just collect bags of rice. The palliatives that were given to the federal government by a group of organizations, the COVID, to ease the stress of Nigerians during the lockdown of COVID-19 pandemic, those palliatives were hoarded by the government, right? Now, the same government that hoarded those palliatives gives out those palliatives as gifts to their preferred people. When that happens, those preferred people will support those government people, all right? And that is a form of weaponization of poverty. So as much as we try to campaign against the status quo of having the same faces like the Tinubu, the Atiku, the so-called elder statesmen, the APC, PDP, the same criminals that have brought us on our knees today, when we are campaigning against them, you still have millions of people, millions of voices that are opposed to what we are doing because they don't know any better. So we have a lot of work in our hands. Before I go into the next guy here, so he talked about Saraki too. Don't vote for Saraki. That's Obasanjo. Don't vote for Saraki. Don't vote for Tambuwal. Don't vote for Atiku. Don't even vote for Peter Obi. According to Obasanjo, a guy that I don't like because he contributed to the mess of Nigeria today. Before I go into the next topic, let's talk quickly about APC. Listen, APC and PDP, they are the same. There is no difference between APC and PDP. They might pretend to you like they have opposite mandates, they stand for different things, but please don't be deceived. The proof is in the pudding. You've seen many politicians cross carpets from APC to PDP when it's convenient for them individually. If that is not enough evidence for you to let you know that it's not about the political party, it's about the access to power. They just want to have power. Okay, they want to have power because it gives them respect. And for that reason, they have no integrity. They can easily switch to PDP if they think PDP is the political party with the momentum. And they can easily switch to APC if they think APC is the political party with the momentum. So you, the people, you need to pay attention. Don't fall for their okie dokie. Stop falling for the same tricks that they've been playing. PDP and APC are the same. I will not be surprised if Buhari decomes to PDP tomorrow. Just to show you how much of zero integrity that these guys have. They don't give a damn about you. They only care about themselves. And we can see the manifestation of their activities for decades. Terrorism has gone out of control. Even though the APC is responsible for bringing in those terrorists in the first place. Now they don't even have control over those terrorists any longer. Now we, the people, are the ones suffering. You can't even travel. Bro, you want to travel now from Abuja to Lagos. The roads are blocked. Before, back in the days when we were younger, we used to go through Niger State. You go through Jeba, Mokwa, Bida. You go through Kwara State until you get to Lagos. Until you get to Oyo State, then Lagos. It'll take you 7.5 hours. I'm talking about in the early 90s. In the early 90s, it'll take you 7.5 hours to travel from Abuja to Lagos. And then towards the early 2000s or the late 90s, we stopped using the Niger State route because the roads got so damaged and the government never fixed any of the potholes because they pocketed the money. Now, armed robbers started taking advantage of the potholes and robbing people on those roads. So people started going through Lokoja. Now, if you're going to Lagos through from Abuja, you have to go through Lokoja. I'm talking about the early 2000s. That kept on going until now. Now you don't even go through Lokoja anymore. Because if you're going through Lokoja, the Abuja-Lokoja highway, Abaji to Lokoja, has become dangerous. Apart from potholes, apart from, the irregularity of the highway itself, there are bandits hiding in the bushes. They've started attacking people on Abuja-Lokoja highway. Then the road from Lokoja to Obajana to maybe Okene, that will take 9 hours. The road is completely destroyed. So now we go from Lokoja now. You manage to get to Lokoja, you have to go to Benin before you go to Lagos. It takes you 13 hours from Abuja to Lagos. So we started a journey of 7.5 hours in 1992. Now in 2022, it takes you 13 hours to complete that same journey. When in other parts of the world, they are looking for ways to shorten such journeys. People are building hyperloop rail track infrastructure. People are building infrastructure on rail tracks that use magnets so that the trains can travel as fast as 400 kilometers an hour, and it'll take you 1.5 hours to get to Lagos from Abuja. But no, that's not the case. In Nigeria, we are reversing. We are going the other way around. Now it's taking us 13 hours from Abuja to Lagos, and it's unsafe. You're gambling your life. If you want to go fly because it's faster, it's safer. Now the flight tickets are like 100,000 naira because of the expensive fuel price, aviation fuel price. It's just craziness. They've just completely ruined the lives of millions of people without any remorse. But the truth is, please, as much as Obasanjo is telling the truth in this article that you shouldn't vote for these PDP guys, remember, a guy like Obasanjo does not have the moral ground, does not have the moral capacity, himself and IBB and the other guys in his generation, they don't have the moral capacity to tell us what to do to solve the problems that they created. You might want to give Obasanjo some credit and say Obasanjo's administration was the only administration that did better than its predecessor. That makes some sense because Obasanjo took over power in 1999 after Abdul Salam, after the military era. So let's not even count Abdul Salam, let's not count Shonekon. Before Obasanjo, there was Abacha. Abacha was a straight up savage killer. He didn't give a damn about nothing. Abacha was, I never thought anybody could topple Abacha until Buhari came. Buhari has toppled Abacha right now, apparently. But Abacha was a reckless, savage killer. Okay. And then Obasanjo came in. That gave Obasanjo some opportunities to improve, to raise the bar compared to what Abacha did, because Abacha completely ruined the country, right? So Obasanjo's era was good. He traveled around the world. He tried to cancel a lot of the debt that Nigeria was in, and he was successful. He also implemented some federal housing projects in Abuja that seen a lot of civil servants own their private houses. It happened. At the end of the day, Obasanjo was not 100% negative, right? But if he was 20% negative, 20% positive, the 80% negative has negated all the positives that he has done. That's my opinion. Okay, you can have your own opinion. You might be one of those people that loves your elders. Oh, the elder has spoken. What an elder says when sitting down, you young people cannot see it when standing up. You might be one of those people. Fine. Me, I respect my elders. But if you're an elder and you've added to my pain and suffering, no more respect for you, bro. You should be in jail. That's my own position, this whole thing. But some of you guys that love your culture and your tradition and you feel like, oh, he's an elder, Obasanjo is an elder, Babangida is an elder. These elders are the people that are so smart. They have visions. We should listen to them. But these elders, when they were in their younger days, they destroyed the country. They contributed to the mess that we are in today. And now that they are elders, they are coming out to tell us what to do to fix the mess. No. Before I can believe you, Mr. Obasanjo, how about you relinquish all that wealth that you have from leveraging on the destruction of Nigeria? How about when you were running the Feed the Nation program? This was even before he became the civilian president. They had a program, Operation Feed the Nation. Somehow, some way, Operation Feed the Nation magically turned into Obasanjo Farms. And then Obasanjo became a billionaire. Do the math for crying out loud. $16 billion went down the drain during Obasanjo's era that they are looking for constant electricity supply. Today, we have no electricity. As a matter of fact, the electricity supply has gone worse. And nobody went to prison for the $16 billion that went down the drain. Plus, many of these guys in that administration are now billionaires. So if you do the math, the $16 billion went into their private bank accounts. So what are we talking about, bro? Don't listen to this fake elder statesman, okay? They are supposed to be in jail. But we don't have the capacity to do that yet because they've destroyed the institutions in the country. But don't listen to them. But for the purpose of this topic, believe Obasanjo. Yes, sometimes we can pick and choose what to believe or not. For Obasanjo saying 2023 presidency, don't vote for Atiku, Saraki, Tambuwal. Believe him on that one because he's actually right. These people are thieves, just like him. The only difference is they are thieves that belong to different stealing ideologies. That's all. Now, with all of that being said, there was a final article that I came across that I have to share with you guys. I want to hear your opinions, and I would like people to call in for this one. This is a just a quick second. It's about the United States Embassy. The United States government decided to erect the largest consulate in the entire world, the largest United States consulate in Lagos, Nigeria. And they said the project will be completed in 2023. Let me look for that article. 2027, sorry. Let me look for that article and put it on the screen so you can see what I'm talking about. The US government says we are building the next largest consulate in Lagos, Nigeria. Before I find that article, yes, there is one more thing I was going to talk about. You see, this same Obasanjo that comes out to tell us now that don't vote for Atiku Abubakar. Don't vote for Atiku Abubakar. Atiku Abubakar is a liar. He's lying about the presidential form for PDP, which cost 40 million naira, was purchased for him by the youth of the country. People contributed to buying that presidential form. But in 2019, and this is another example, another evidence for you. I can put these links in the comment section if you're interested. You can let me know in the comment section if you want me to, so you can read it for yourself. This is an article from Premium Times in 2019. This article is from October 11, 2018. I hope you can see on the screen. 2019 elections. Obasanjo forgives Atiku, endorses him for president. So the same Obasanjo that came out recently telling us, don't vote for Atiku because he is a liar. In 2019, he came out telling us, vote for Atiku. He is a changed man. So are you going to continue believing these people when Obasanjo himself is neither here or there? He doesn't know what he stands for. And now some of you might be saying, oh yeah, but people change. So there is a possibility that the in 2000 and in 2019, Atiku's character was flawed. And that's why Atiku's character was great. And that's why Obasanjo was trying to support him in 2019. But come 2023, Atiku's character is now flawed, so Obasanjo doesn't trust him. My question to you is, what has changed between 2019 and 2027? If you're 2023, if you're one of such people that believes that, oh yeah, Obasanjo's thoughts can change between 2019 and 2023, depending on Atiku's character, what has changed between 19 and 23? Don't deceive yourself, bro. Obasanjo doesn't even know what he's saying. When he comes out and says, don't vote for Atiku, and then he comes around again and says, vote for Atiku. Which one is it, bro? Which one are we supposed to listen to, Mr. Obasanjo? The truth is, don't listen to neither. Use your own gut instinct, okay? If you choose to continue participating in an election, in my opinion, it's a fraudulent process, okay? But if that's what you choose, then follow your own gut instinct. Don't listen to guys like Obasanjo, because they are going to steer you to your own demise. That's exactly what is going to happen. And as far as the election picture is concerned, this is what I think. The only way that an electoral process in Nigeria can be meaningful in 2023 is if people come out to vote in extremely huge numbers, like we have never seen before, even toppling the percentage of the 1993 elections. If that can happen, it'll be more difficult to rig elections. And that's the simple truth. It'll be much more difficult for these political criminals and their INEC collaborators to steal credible elections from credible electorates. It'll be more difficult. But the truth is, it's not going to happen. People are not going to come out in large numbers. Not especially now that people have many people, a huge percentage of the population has lost hope in the integrity of institutions like INEC, like the National Assembly, the judiciary arm of the government. People have lost hope in all these things, and that's why they are not going to come out to vote. If they are going to come out to vote, they will collect money from the criminals that are trying to buy their vote. That's what they will do. So these 2023 elections, in my opinion, it's already a foregone issue. It's something that we shouldn't even bother ourselves about. That's my own opinion, though. If you want to change your own opinion, that's fine. You can do whatever you want to do. Like I said earlier, I am just one voice. There are hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people out there that, as I am campaigning against all these guys, Tinubu, Atiku, PDP, APC, all of them, those millions of people are campaigning for them. Violently too. They are being violent while campaigning, forcing people to follow their ideology. So it's going to be a very difficult race to win. But the most important thing is, before we go into another fraudulent election, what we need is a national conversation to know exactly what we are doing, to know how this country can be restructured or broken up. Period. Because the country is not going to work. It has never worked. Right now, we can clearly see that it's not going to work. And all these criminals that are advising us to continue the madness of election that we've been doing, and it's going to magically save us. All these criminals advising us to do that, they are citizens of foreign countries and they have billions. They have private jets. So when Kasala busts, they will jump on their private jets, fly away, and enjoy the rest of their lives, while we, the people, are going to bear the consequences of the suffering. Man, I was looking for an article, but I can't find it. But with all of that being said, the summary of the United States government trying to build a consulate in Lagos is that they wanted, according to them, their ambassador to Nigeria, they are trying to strengthen the political relationship between United States and Nigeria. And for that reason, they've decided to build a world-class consulate on Eco Atlantic. Okay, the new peninsula, I will call it, the new peninsula being built off the coast of Lagos, right? And to a lot of people, this might sound like an exciting news. In my opinion, it's not exciting. Okay, because what this tells me is that the United States is looking for a way to maintain the the structure of Nigeria. They want Nigeria to continue existing. Okay. Now, if Nigeria continues to exist, the only guarantee that we can all tell, that we can all see from recent events is that the pain and suffering of the people in Nigeria will continue. The degradation of the environment within the space of Nigeria will continue if the Nigeria continues to exist. So the United States coming to tell us that they want to build a consulate in Lagos, that is a red flag for me. I don't want it. I absolutely don't want it. I am completely against it. The United States needs to bro, go and you want to build a consulate, go build it in Kano. How about that? Go build it somewhere else, man. No, we don't want that shit on the Southwest, you know. And I want to hear people's opinion on this stuff, honestly speaking, because to me, I am extremely hypersensitive. Okay, and I don't want to be put in a position where what we are trying to fight for will be stolen away from us because a world superpower has come to put its own support for an entity that is punishing us. So I've put a link in the comment section. I will let the link sit there for about 5 minutes. Okay. If nobody clicks on the link, I will round up the show in 5 minutes. If you want to talk to me about this particular topic, what are your thoughts and opinions on the United States of America building the largest consulate in the entire world in Lagos on the Eco-Atlantic Peninsula? The plan that it is going to be completed in 2027, and the reason for their action is to strengthen the political ties between Nigeria and the United States of America. I'd like to know people's thoughts and opinion on this. If you can't click on that link, you can call on the WhatsApp number scrolling at the bottom, but I would have to go get my phone. Okay. If you made a call and I'm not picking up, just drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know. I'll go get the phone, right? I want to know what people's thoughts and opinion is. I also want you to realize that the current situation in Ukraine, where Russia is blowing up Ukraine, right? Part of the reasons why it is happening is because of the United States relationship with Ukraine. The relationship of the US with Ukraine is detrimental to Russia. So Russia decided to protect itself by doing what it did. I'm not supporting Russia, okay? I am not in any way, shape, or form supporting anybody that drops bombs on defenseless women and children. No, I'm not going to support that. But what they are doing has a premise, okay? So if the United States is trying to establish a stronger relationship with Nigeria, which logical Nigerians should be against, because Nigeria is against Nigerians, then why should you be in support of the United States building the world's largest consulate in Lagos? I'd like people to drop their thoughts and opinions. Let me know. If nobody has anything to say, I will be signing out by, okay, I'll give it 7 minutes. 1 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Feel free, call in, drop a comment, click on the link. We can have a quick chit chat on your thoughts and opinions. Just give me 1 second. Let me go get my phone, please. It might be ringing. Okay, no calls. I guess nobody is interested in talking, but thank you so much for joining the African Wahala. Remember, your elder statesmen, most of them are beneficiaries of this evil system. And they are just wishy-washy. They are neither here or there. Don't listen to their advice. Though you can pick and choose when to listen to their advice. You can pick and choose when to listen to their advice because it might be beneficial for you. But for the most part, do not listen to their advice. When Obasanjo comes out and tells you, don't vote for Atiku, there is some truth in it because Atiku is a corrupt guy, okay? But the Obasanjo himself is a corrupt guy. So is he really in a morally justified stance to make those comments? 50-50. It's a good comment because he's advising people not to vote for Atiku, which is a good thing. But you need to be aware that the person giving you that advice is extremely questionable and he has escaped after committing many crimes. So stop giving too much respect to these fake elder statesmen. Same thing applies to your celebrities. Stop listening to celebrities giving you advice on political stuff because the celebrities, they are also regular citizens like you. And they have their opinions, they have their likes, their dislikes. What they dislike might be what you like. A celebrity is also trying to survive. A lot of them have to collaborate with politicians because being a politician is the easiest way to make money in the country. If you find yourself in a political space, you will easily have access to billions, millions, and power. Okay? So these celebrities, they collaborate with politicians. That gives them more money or access to money. Then they come around and advise you on their Instagram, on their Twitter, that you need to support this party. You need not to support that party. Don't listen to them. Follow your gut instincts. If you are logical enough, okay, if you have done your research, you should know the people that you can support and the people that you should not support. Unfortunately, a lot of us don't even have an awareness of our history because the history was stolen away intentionally and a lot of us are just ignorant. So I would recommend a lot of people start doing some historical research. You need to start reading up on how Nigeria came into existence in the first place. Who were the people that agreed to the unity of this country? Who were the people that named this country? Who were the people that wrote the national anthem, the national pledge? What is their current situation? By the time you have some of these information, you will be in a better position to make decisions. And you'll realize that, man, these people that I've been calling my elder statesmen, these people that I've been calling heroes, they are the villains. They are the ones that brought us into this mess. And it's high time I severed that psychological attachment from them. But thank you guys for tuning into the African Wahala, another beautiful episode on this beautiful Saturday on Diaspora Radio International Facebook page. If you like the content, share it. Let other people witness some enlightenment. I'll put it that way. I am not the most enlightened person, but the little enlightenment that I have, I will share with people. Okay. And I would like people to engage in a conversation so I can be enlightened as well. So I can learn from the people and we can share ideas. But we'll see how that goes in the future. And it is what it is. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great Saturday, great Sunday. Peace.